Welcome back to Being Emily, episode 2, I guess, for the year of, 2023 to 2024 June, Pride there. This is for 2024 Pride Month, but, we're kind of encapsulating the year of 2023 and what's kind of changed since the last video, because a lot of stuff has changed. That last video, I felt bad for myself after watching that. I watched that today, and I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Like, I was at a point where I wasn't fully out to everyone yet. That has definitely changed. Everyone knows now, since October 11th, I believe it was, of last year, 2023, which is National Coming Out Day. That's when I came out, and I made a big post about it on Facebook. That went over really well. I changed, my name and stuff, and my badge, and my pronouns at work, and that's been so-so. People have definitely been supportive. The problem is, and in a big problem, probably the biggest problem I've had over the past, few months here, I guess, at least, is, I didn't really talk about it, I don't think, in the last video, but what tends to happen a lot is, and even, I don't even want to say it's just work people, it's just everyone, they kind of get my pronouns wrong sometimes, like, they're she and her, and everyone's used to the old way, but it's almost been like another year now. In 4 months it'll be like another year, so it hurts now. Now it's like, geez, guys, like, you call me Emily, you don't usually mess that part up, but it's always just these pronouns, and stuff. It's like, why would I be Emily but use the women's bathroom, something I'm doing now? That's another big step, I have on here somewhere, what does it say? My apprehension about going in women's spaces is mostly dissipated. I still feel... I mean, the biggest problem, and this is what I kind of am feeling is the biggest problem, is just people in general flip-flopping. They'll say, oh, they'll always start female. Always, pretty much, for the most part. Like, it's sometimes not even, though. And it's so weird, because now it's like, now it's official. Now I've got the badge, now I've got the everything, and it's like, but before that, any of that, like, people always used to say ma'am, and so I said that in the last video, and now it's like, people still alternate sometimes. It's very odd. I don't know. I definitely have gotten more lazy with trying to do, like, a feminine voice. I have that on here, too. It's like, but here's the thing about that. Like, anytime I try to do it, it's just like everyone... Not everyone. A lot of people... It's passing to a lot of people, but to a lot of people it just doesn't. And then I just feel like, what's the fucking point of this, I don't want to put in all this effort if nobody's going to care anyway, like... And then the people I actually, like, care to actually talk to that aren't just, like, customers or something, like, they don't care, So why should I care? But I do care. It does bother me at some level. It's just voice training is really hard. I watched that last video, and it wasn't perfect or anything, but I mean, I did try to do a more feminine voice there. It gives me a little bit of dysphoria. And that's the other thing I wanted to talk... There's a lot of things I want to talk about. I have a whole list right here of shit to talk about, but... So I just, like... I came out, that's great. That all went really well, like I said. Still vibing and buzzing on that, like, last year, but then... all of that kind of hype and all that kind of went away. All the anticipation of what is this going to be like, and I'm excited to just get on with my new life. And now, now it's life. Now I'm living it, But I am fortunate. I am very blessed and stuff to be living this life, and for so many people to be so accepting and not to get too much backlash, you know, in terms of anybody. And most people are on board, and but just getting those little feedbacks of you know, I'll talk to somebody, like a customer or something, and they'll be like, "Oh, sorry, sir," and it's just like, dude, look at the name. It says right here, like, I seriously was considering today, I should just wear a badge that says, like, she, her, you know? So it's like, what the fuck? Like, you start with ma'am, and then you go to sir. Like, why would you don't need to do that, you know? Don't do that. You had it right before. If I wasn't such a nice person, I'd just tell these people, but, like, I don't know. I'm too nice for this shit, you know? I don't like correcting people, but I'm gonna fucking start doing it, you know? I don't even give a shit anymore. Fuck people call me the wrong pronouns. It hurts! Every time I hear it, it hurts, you know? I've put these steps forward, I put myself out there, I was brave enough to start my new life, and you're gonna give me this shit, you know? I know it's people who don't know me or anything, but, like, the people who do know me sometimes fucking screw that up, and it bothers me. I know, it's a hard thing, I guess, or whatever, but it's like, dude, just like get it right. I don't know. I just want to live my novel life. It's my life. Anyway. So, I came out on the channel the same day. I made a video about it. You can go check that out. I've pretty much always been out on this channel, so that's not a big deal. So yeah, I know in the last video I was like, oh, for now we have to use the he, hims, and this stuff. And it's like, fuck any of that. No more, alright? It's she, her. Just do that from now on. And Emily, that's it. That's all it is. Alright, so, last we had checked in, I had told my friends and my mom, and there's still people to tell after that. Like I said, I made that post and told everyone, but before I did that, I actually had to tell my brother, and I had to tell my dad. So, I probably mentioned it in the last video. My brother is very, you know, or at least was very anti-trans people and all that kind of thing, and at first he was really bad about still using my old name or my dead name. I know in the last video I made a statement about, I don't even like the term dead name. No, fuck it, it's a dead name now, alright? It is, and it's not totally gone. I still have to get my name changed, I'm still working on that. But you know, one step at a time. So, I still have to deal with that name sometimes, but to me, now it feels like it is what it is. It's a legal name, you know? And once ever I switch over and get everything updated and whatnot, that'll be nice, because then I want to fucking be dealing with that anymore. I don't like getting dead named. There's still, like two older people at my work who still kind of dead name me, and I don't know, they kind of have gone back on it recently a little bit. I don't know, they still do sometimes, but it's like, you know, I thought I did this, and I thought, like, everyone knew, or they do know. I've had people tell me that they told them about it, and they're still, oh, whatever, you know, they're old people. So that's kind of how my brother is, honestly, or was, anyway. Very against it, I guess, but he also said, like, oh, I already fucking knew, everyone knows, you know, blah, 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 all this shit. And, yeah, but, you know, we're cool, you know, but he's still learning to deal with it, I feel like, and I think he's definitely gotten better, but he's an avoider. He doesn't use the name. Oh, it's an evil name. I know speaks the name. You know, he's like freaking Golem or something. Yeah, but no, he doesn't use either name, and doesn't try to, I guess, use either pronouns either. But um, it's odd. It's odd. We're still getting there, but at least he's in his own transitional period between names and stuff. I think so. That's interesting. You know, I don't know. I don't really know what the status of that is, but that first night we had a whole big debate about it, and he's been very silent on it recently. I don't know where he really stands on all of that. But I told my dad, and my dad was really supportive, you know, definitely. I didn't really know how he was going to take it, but he's very supportive. He's very supportive. He even was like, oh, hey, I'll help you change your name and stuff. And then, like, that never happened. He got busy or something. I have to get back with him about that. But, he told my grandma, who's, like, super supportive, which is cool. I mean, you know, she's real nice and she's loving and everything. But just at the same time, it's just, like, she's old school. So it's like, you know, you never know how somebody like her is going to take it and stuff. And she took it really well. So that's nice, you know. I love my grandma, so. So yeah, basically everyone knows now, and everyone knows it. Apparently, it's it. I know I haven't talked about that probably on this channel, but everyone knows that was the song we were all looking for. And apparently now it's everyone knows it. So, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I told my dad. He was cool. I remember last summer we had a lot of talks about stuff like that around what I told him. Um, you know, my brother like talked with me about it then too. He never talks with it just with me specifically about it though. He always talks with like it's only ever if it gets brought up with somebody else, you know, like it's interesting. I don't know. But we're cool. I knew that was going to be the hardest one to work with anyway. Outside of that, like I said, at work there hasn't been much apprehensive at all. If anything, the opposite, you know? Like, everyone there's been really supportive and really friendly and stuff now, and I feel like we're at a good place with that. I have people, like, wanting to just, you know, even people to just stand up for me and stuff. I think that's cool. Because, you know, that was another thing I was kind of worried about at some point. Like, how is this all going to play out there? Is everyone going to be supportive? And everyone has been. It took a while to kind of get everyone to that point. Like, a lot of people would hear after the fact, you know, by, like, gosh, it took several months even for them. Some of them I just didn't correct. I'm not good at correcting people. That's what I was saying. And it's just hard for me to do that. And then finally, I feel like everyone except for, like, maybe 2 or 3 people know or are on board. I think they all know. It's just like who's on board, you know? It's like, yeah. So, but yeah, works good with that. But yeah, I was talking about it earlier. I guess just a lot of the like over the top kind of I'm on top of the world feeling isn't there anymore really. I'm still happy. I would say definitely versus where I was pre-HRT, which, you know, I'm now at like a month or a year and 6 months or whatever for. So that's cool. You know, I guess we could talk about that. You know, like I have less like facial hair and stuff. That's a good thing. I think a lot of that's maybe to do with laser and stuff too, though. You know, like my little IPL machine. I got a new and better one, so I felt like that probably was helping too. I've gotten some growth elsewhere, you know, so just a little bit. We're you know, it comes in time, kind of thing. It's supposed to take a long time. You know, my nice long hair, and it looks nice, right? And I like that, of course. And I do like to wear it like this or wear it down, but it's summer right now, so it's just kind of... It's too hot to do that, you know? Like, I don't know. My skin is softer, it's injury prone, you know, so... Oh, I like, I started they're not painted very well right now, but I started wearing, you know, nail polish, before I even came out, really, and, at some point, and that was interesting, and, I mentioned in the last video the manager who was, like, you know, several years ago, or whatever, like, 2021, or maybe even 2020, it was, like, when I was started growing out my hair, it was like, oh, is this a pronouns thing, you know, like, that same manager, like, later on, once I started, like, painting my nails and stuff, we were walking over to do, like, a Raise review one time, and he was like, I don't even remember what he said anymore, but he was just basically like, hey, you know, if you ever, like, need to do a name change or something to that effect, like, that's cool, and I just, it's just like, yeah, you know, cool, and, I had a plan, I told him, with that, and, of course, that was when, I still had a few months to go for the whole October thing. I wanted to come out on that day because I just thought it'd be significant. And that ended up really working out, so that was nice. But it's just funny. He always kind of knew, I guess, like in some sense, which is cool. And honestly, everyone there has, I feel like, at least slipped up maybe like once or something. But other than a he one time, like, he's been really good, and that specific manager has been really good, and that's just, that's awesome, you know, like, I know, like, I know it's difficult, I don't want to give people shit about it, but, and I don't, you know, obviously I don't call them out and, like, correct people and whatever, which I really should, but it does bother me, you know, and that's the thing, it's like, I'm here, I'm just trying to be me, and then, you know, get all this shit about, like, he, hims and all that, and it's just, that's... I don't know, it is what it is, but I'm just saying. I put that on here. Less leniency about misgendering. It's been 8 months. Get them right, you know, like with pronouns and stuff. Yeah, it's on here. I know. I know of it. So... Yeah, initially there was a lot of euphoria from being out, and, I still get some of that sometimes, you know, but, like, it's less so now. Things just kind of shift back to normal, like I said earlier, so. But, you know, it's fine. It is what it is. So, that's life, right? I got my ears pierced. I don't know if you'll be able to even see that, but I did that last July, or... Yeah, I think it was July, because it was right around the time of my birthday. I like how these are all, like, lyrical songs. Yeah, so that was cool. That went well. I like that. Somebody actually, like, a lady I talk to all the time at work, like, just recently was like, oh, I see you got your ears pierced. And I'm like, yeah, where have you been? It's been like a year now, you know? Like, for real. That was a whole thing, too. Like, the first few, like, months of that, too. You're not supposed to come out for, like, several weeks. I don't remember. I think it was, like, 12 weeks or something. And it's just a big pain in the ass. One time, it fell out, like an hour or two before the end of my shift. And I was just, like, freaking out. I, like, tried to get it back in there, and it wouldn't. And I'm just like, ah. And then I, like, go to the lady who did it. Well, I think it was a guy who did it. But I went to the place that did it, and... I was just like to the lady, I'm like, it fell out, I didn't love it. She's just like, ah, no problem, we're gonna put it back in. And I'm just like, oh, thank you, you're so nice. And so, it was great, you know, that was fun. I haven't really changed them much, because I do have other earrings to change into. It's just I got lazy, you know. It's a process. It takes time to do, so it's just like, I don't feel like doing it. Like, I should feel like doing it. I used to do it a lot. I used to switch out my earrings. I used to have like necklaces. I'm not doing that anymore. Like, I'm so lazy now, you know. I don't even use makeup that much. Like, it's just I like doing it. It does make it look nice, like I'm using it now, but I guess I've gotten a lot more clothes and stuff. That's something, right? Um I went running around thrifting with my friend Aubrey. I think I got this thrifting actually. My mom has taken me out a bunch of times to get clothes and new shoes and stuff, and I'm less apprehensive about like shopping in like a women's section. That also happened. I mentioned that earlier with the women's spaces thing, but that was more about bathrooms and stuff. Like, that was weird for the first little bit there. It took me a couple weeks before I was just like, I'm just gonna walk into the ladies' bathroom at work. I always went to like the gender neutral one. Then it was busy, and then I'm just at some point I was just like, all right, fuck it. I just gotta like walk in here. I guess the apprehension was like just that people wouldn't know, like so, but they all know now, so nobody cares. I don't think anyway. Most people are really nice, I guess a lot of people don't really understand fully. Maybe that's why there's like some of the he hims, or they just don't even think about it or whatever. Like, it's just difficult, I just feel like I'm trying to live in this new life, and I'm trying to think of myself in this perspective of my true self and whatever, but it's like, I hear all these things, and they're just like little chinks in that, little chinks in the armor, little pebbles people are throwing at me, or like when you have a pebble in your shoe and you can't like stop to get it out or something, it's just kind of aggravating. It's just like I want to just be able to live, as I am, and I want people to respect my pronouns, and we're at a weird time in history too, where all of this is just kind of starting to take off now, so respecting people's pronouns isn't really like a solidified thing yet. Like, the people who know, but like there's other people who are just like, pronouns, I don't use pronouns, and it's like, everyone fucking uses pronouns, you idiot. But it's just some people, they just don't, and I don't think that's anybody really well, I don't know about the customers and whatever, but like anybody who I work with is like obviously not probably like that. I don't know, maybe I don't know all of these people like entirely, but I'm just saying, like, I think most of them are pretty nice, and it's not just like I'm doing this on purpose. It's more of a I'm doing this on accident. I had somebody, real nice lady, but she introduced me to some other kid who just started here the other day, and then like she just messed the whole thing up. She introduced me as Emily, but then she's like, he and whatever, and him, and she's like, oh, sorry, or whatever. But, it's like, just let me make my own introductions at that rate, It's just like, I don't know. That's another thing, it's just like when people get introduced to me, it's just like, I don't want to have to broach that right away, because I don't know how new people feel about that kind of thing right out the gate, and I don't want to make it like my defining character trait. It's like the like Adventureland. I don't want it doesn't have to be your signifier. It's like, I don't mind being trans. That's cool. I'm all down for fighting the fight and trans pride and all that. It's Pride Month. That's why we're doing this. But it's just hard sometimes. Hey, I got this flag too. Isn't that awesome? It's way bigger than I thought it was gonna be, but. I love this song too, by the way. It's from My Little Pony. I mean, not really, but it's a fan song about the astronomical astronomer's almanac to all things astronomy. It's like one episode they mentioned this book, and then some guy made this fucking fire song about it. It's like that meme, like, okay, it's just this fan song for MLP, you don't have to go too hard, and then fire, it's like a dragon fire of like fucking epicness, this song. I love this song. Ever since 2013 when I fucking heard this shit, man. Oh my god. I love My Little Pony. I finished that since last time, maybe? I don't know. When did I finish that? Maybe it was the year before. I don't know. I like My Little Pony. I think that was before it was out, actually. That was a couple years ago. I love that show, though. That also helped me kind of, you know, figure out and feel my femininity a little bit more, but... It's not always easy to be trans, I'll tell you that much. It's sort of tricky sometimes, and... It's a transition, you know? It's like, we're getting there, but... I don't know. I do get... okay, here's the thing. I still get euphoria whenever anybody, like, let's say... gets it right. You know, like, people that I know, like, at work, like... this one girl, I don't even remember what she was talking about, but she just was like, you know, hey you, Miss Emily, or something, and I'm just like, awesome. Like, I felt that, you know? I'm just like, hell yeah, man. Like, that's it. That's what I want. That's all I want. That's all I want, you know? Emily only wants one thing, and it's fucking wholesome. It's not just, it's fucking wholesome. Yeah. So... Oh, yeah, I guess I should get into that. It is on the list somewhere. Where is it on this? Oh, yeah, there it is. So... You know, I talked about in the last video, like, obviously, the bisexual thing. You know, I tried to, like, go out with a few people over the last year, and it didn't really work out. There was one person I was more interested in recently, and she ended up having a boyfriend or whatever, and I don't even know if she was, like, gay to begin with, so, but I don't know, I got good vibes from her, but we're good friends now, and that's cool. I was honestly, when I found that out, more so than sad, I was very relieved, because every time I was around her, I just felt like, you know, I had those, like, feels, but then it was like, I also was really nervous, and then it's just like, it felt nice to just, like, you know, not have to worry about that anymore, so, yeah. I mean, I've experienced that in the past, too, obviously, but, I did, I mean, I think around the time, or a little bit about the time, or after that time, when I made that last video, I was talking to a guy, and that didn't really work out so great. Worked out good for a while, and then, you know, we were trying to set something up to meet, and then he kind of ghosted me, and that kind of sucked. So, not just because of him, but it was never my first preference to begin with anyway. I do consider myself, like, a bisexual still, but, like, honestly, I'm okay not dating guys, you know? Like, if it happens, it happens, but they're definitely, like, it's like 90-10 at this point, you know? So, I'm pretty much going all into the lesbian side of this whole thing, you know? I'm in lesbians with you. So, that's always been my thing anyway. I talked about in the last video how I really loved, like, Max and Chloe and, like, all these lesbian relationships and, like, you know, the Lumity and all that, and that show ended, and it's so sad, but it was a good show. I think that's more so where I'm gonna try and be with this whole relationship thing, is just, like, I'm gonna go after girls. I just like to identify as a lesbian anyway. I mean, I think that's better. It makes me feel better, too. I admire girls more. I feel like I can appreciate guys, but, you know, it's just like, There's also, like, other aspects of, like, dating a guy that's, like, you've got a beard, that gives me dysphoria, you know, because I used to have that, and, like, you're hairy, that's not for me, really, you know, like, I know, I'm hairy too in some ways, but everyone is, but girls less so, I guess. I don't know. They have boobies, that's kind of nice. I like those. I don't know. Guys have other things too, but, you know, it is what it is. I don't know, I don't want to get into all of that, but, like, definitely, I think there's been a paradigm shift more towards just dating girls again, which is how I started, but, like, you know, now it's like, unless somebody truly, really special comes around and restores my faith in, like, dating men, then I don't think it's gonna really work out that great, you know? And I know that limits my pool, like, a lot. Obviously me, it's hard to be trans and a lesbian at the same time. Because then girls have the same immediate reaction. I don't want to date somebody who is masculine or was a guy, quote unquote, you know, that's not, like, the truth of the matter, but, like, was grew up as, or was socialized as a boy, and then now they're a girl, you know, or something. I don't know, whatever. You know, but some lesbians are into that. Some lesbians are into a more masculine sort of girl. I don't know. I want to find the nice, balanced one who actually cares to talk to me. I mean, honestly, I matched with a bunch of them, and then they just, nothing happens. Nothing comes of it. And it's just like, I'll send the first message, even though that's bullshit. And they should send the message to me sometimes. But it's like, I don't know. Dating's a whole fucking thing. It's some bullshit. I hope it works out. I hope next year I'm just like, oh, I have this amazing girlfriend. She's awesome. And she loves cats and My Little Pony and fucking video games. Or, I don't know. You know. I hope I have good news on that front next year. Until then, I'll just write about it as my story characters, my book, you know, that I'm working on or whatever, so. Yeah. So, I mean, over the past year, it's it's been it's been difficult, but you know, it's been good too. You know, my friend Jameson once said in an old video, it's actually the first video that I have that we started recording on my old camera, the red one that I don't, well, you wouldn't have ever been able to maybe see it in a video, maybe a long time ago kind of video, but um, but anyway, he said this once about a speech I was making. He's like, it's gonna be a long drawn out process, but I think it's gonna be important, and I kind of take that as my mantra for life and the transition. You know, like, things are happening in good ways, and you know, obviously, uh, there's good things happening, but you know, it just takes a long time, you know. So, but it, it it does take a long time, but that's fine, and it's gonna be important, you know. It's the 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 wait will be worth it, or whatever. Just gotta hang in there, you know. Gotta keep holding on, you know. Um, now I'm just listening to the song. Um, yeah. So, you know, I'm not all like 10 times energy like I was, you know, in the last. I don't know if I was really in the last video, but I wanted to come in here and talk about transition stuff, because it's like, I want to make it like a yearly thing for Pride Month to just come in and be like, hey, here's what happened, you know, here's what happened over the last year, and I think it's important to do, because you know, it's my life and I want to live it. And see, you thought there was gonna be no Life is Strange music, and here it is. I just didn't want to play the same playlist as last year, because then you start a precedent of like it can only be Life is Strange music. We're talking about like the all the like Pride stuff or whatever, but I guess things I'd like to work on for next year, maybe, God forbid. I think it's stupid that a voice is so integral to defining gender, but I would like to work on that, I guess. I don't do it enough, and I know it's important, but it's just like, ugh, it's so tedious to do voice training, I just hate that. I don't like the training part. I wish I could just sound however people want me to fucking sound, I guess, so that they could get the idea. It wouldn't be a big deal to me, but people make me apprehensive about it because, when I talk to somebody and then they don't think, oh, this is a female voice, and then they automatically gender me just based on the voice, that makes me kind of angry, and it makes me sad, because it's like, dude, look how I'm presenting, If you're so concerned about it, just ask me, how do you identify? But nobody ever does that because that's such a taboo thing to do in this day and age, It's just like, some people will ask. Some people actually care. But then some people, they don't care. And people, I posted this in like my trans femme group or whatever on Facebook, and I was like, said about it one time, and I'm just like, yeah, this kind of sucks when customers just like they have it right the first time and then they go the other way with it. It's just like, people are like, oh, we should correct them and stuff, and it's just like, dude, I don't have all the time in my day to just be like, hey, like, explain the whole situation to them, tell them my life story, and then ask them the question. With these people, it's just snaps. It's like, where's the thing? Where's this thing? Oh, there it is. Okay, cool, good. It's like, I don't have time for a whole conversation about gender and pronouns and stuff. It's like, I wish it didn't have to be that way, I wish people wouldn't get so hung up on voices and stuff, but it's like they do. And then that gives me dysphoria about it, and I don't know, it just pisses me off, because it's like, I just want to be who I am. I don't want it to have to be a big deal, but like, people make the voice a big deal, so it makes me want to make the voice a big deal. So I'll work on that. The name change thing, I think that's definitely achievable by next year. Hopefully we'll have some more growth and stuff by next year. Um, Maybe less facial hair. Maybe less hair in general would be. I mean, not like this hair. This hair is fine, but like the less other body hair in general would be nice. I guess I want to work on like makeup and stuff. Like I don't know. I don't have too many like female friends I hang out with all the time. There's basically like Aubrey, and that's like kind of it. Honestly, I have people who I can talk to, but it's just kind of hard to like go and let them show me how to do makeup and stuff. It's like, I gotta work on that. I did. My friend from high school, Victoria, like offer to help me with that stuff at some point. Should really hit her up about that at some point. Let's go see my old friend Johnny too, who's her husband. So, that'd be nice. I'm just, okay. In terms of goals, long term. I don't know if I should mention. Nobody's gonna watch this anyway. What do I care? Long term, I do want to go for some surgeries. Especially the big, kind of the bottom surgery, I suppose. I want to do that at some point, but it's expensive. So I gotta save up for that. That's a goal for the future. But to do that, I want to get myself out of debt, and then start saving up for that. I don't know. I might just start saving, honestly, because I don't know how fast I'm going to be able to get out of this debt. It's like, it's just, I'm almost there, and then I always accrue more somehow, you know? It's just kind of an endless cycle. So I know my friend Shelby, I guess, are we friends? I don't know. I see her at work. My work friend Shelby, I was talking to, about it, and we were talking about how debt, like, frickin', it just compounds to where you can't, like, get out of it, really, and that's the whole point. I was just listening to Ready Player One again, and they kind of mentioned that with the whole indentured servants thing as well. So yeah, debt sucks, but I want to get that definitely down the line. Yeah, just keep going with the HRT, you know? I guess there's that, and that's about the extent of it. I don't know. I think for now we're doing pretty good, and am I proud of myself for getting this far? Absolutely, you know? I get to be my most authentic self, but I also... There's roadblocks, and not roadblocks. There's, let's say potholes along the way, you know? Not enough to, like, blow out your tire normally, but, little bumps in the road that kind of... They distract you, you know, a little bit, and I have to, ironically enough, learn how to get tougher skin, you know, since the joke is my skin's so soft now that it, like, cuts so easily that it's, like, I kind of need tougher skin to deal with it, but, you know. I do like, I think, like, the emotional side of things is also, I talked about it in the last video, how I definitely can feel more now, you know, and stuff, and that's been nice, and but I think it's kind of balanced out too, and sometimes it's not, but it's kind of balanced out too, and that's been kind of nice for sure. uh I don't know. I think that might be everything for me, but I guess, like, I don't know if I really talked about it in the last video, but you know, another thing that I wouldn't, I don't know if it's, I don't want to count it as like a good or a bad thing. I guess I'll just talk about it, but like, um, I have a lot of gender envy, I guess, of just like cis women who, they look so pretty, you know? I look at them and I'm like, they're so pretty, why can't that be me? And I know the deck is stacked differently for me, and it's kind of stacked against me in a lot of ways, but I still look at these women, and I just, I get so jealous, you know? I know maybe that's just like a woman thing too, but it's like, I get jealous because I just look at them and I'm like, you're pretty, you have nice, you know, a nice body, I guess, like, you have this, like, cute voice or whatever, and it's like, you know, that's what I want to be, you know? But it's not easy. It's like they have so much experience over me. I guess that's what I'm envious of as well, is their years of gender experience, because it's like, um, they know how to do makeup and stuff, and they know how to... I mean, I guess that's another kind of weird thing, is just, like, trying to exist as a woman in this world, and especially being out. There's weird moments of, like, you know, you get to see the other side now, of things. It's it should be a euphoric sort of thing, but it's kind of odd sometimes, especially when it's, like, not in a great way. I don't want to really get into specifics about any of that, but, you know, If you know, you know, I guess. um, did I say that in the last video or something? You know, yeah. Anyway. I think a lot of it, though, is I have to be appreciative of what I do have and how far along I've come, you know? I'm always looking forward. The grass is always obviously greener on the other side, and I can have this gender envy of these women, that's fine, you know, or just envy of their beauty or whatnot, and jealousy, and... But... it gets tricky sometimes to be grateful for, you know, being happy with who I am and what I already do have, and I look pretty good, you know? I mean, it reminds me of that fucking Taylor Tomlin video where she's just like, she asks her dad if she's pretty, and she's just like, you know, you and me, pizza face, or whatever. You know, I get up every day, I do alright! You know, that's me. I get up every day, I do alright, you know, so... I'm trying my best. I do... Oh. I think I do feel pretty good, though, about myself in a lot of ways. I'm kind of heading towards a lot of the goals that I want to head towards now. I kind of made those announcements about slowing down on the channel, and I didn't really make one on this channel, but I guess this little tidbit is that it's mostly to pursue stuff like my book, or just relax more, because I have a serious problem with, like, relaxing, you know? I never allow myself to do that, and even my version of relaxing is, like, grinding on RuneScape, which is still, like, basically another fucking full-time job. You know, it's just, I spent all of yesterday just grinding combat levels, like, doing Slayer tasks and stuff, like, you know, it's a problem, but also I'm at the end of the game, so I just want to finish the game so I can kind of move on and not have to worry about it every day. But I kind of gave up doing, like, my videos, like, consistently, like, every week has to be a video and all that. Other than the shorts, I'm kind of ramping up on the shorts just because it's smaller, more bite-sized, and easy content to create. Even though it's ironically kind of a trickier content to create, because I actually have to kind of edit it down to... It's the only videos I ever edit, so it's like, god damn it. I actually made this stuff harder on myself, somehow. But I can basically just, like, sit down for one time and just, like, make all of the videos for a month or whatever, so... Or not, or I could do them over, like, the week if I was smart and stuff, but... Yeah... I'm just trying to keep going, you know? It's tricky. It's tricky to keep going, but I feel motivated, you know? I feel... Sometimes, like now, I feel a little bit, like, low energy about the whole thing, but I do have a really much healthier outlook on life. Before this whole thing, it was really bad, and... Oh, bad. It was so bad. You know, it's like... Am I still unhappy about some things? Sure. I think everyone is, right? Everyone's got something they kind of would like to do differently or whatever, but... I'm actually working on stuff that means something to me now, like my book and my goals and stuff like that, you know, so I feel like we're getting somewhere with the transitional stuff, and that's nice, you know, that's just really nice, so I don't know. I guess that's kind of everything's going good, you know, and life goes on, you know, and just continuing on, just trying to be the best me I can be and help everybody that I can and help myself too. I mean, that's just tricky sometimes, but everyone's been really nice, and I like that. And I wonder how many changes there'll really be for next year, you know? Like, I don't know. There might be. Maybe it'll be a shorter video. So it's already, like, slightly shorter than the last one, so... Oh, I made these business cards. I don't know if I showed that off yet. That's kind of cool. You scan those QR codes, it takes you to the channel. It's neat. I rebranded to Azura Game Club. That was kind of cool. Instead of MENES, which is like the show name now rather than the channel name. I figured that'd get me some more subscribers and views and stuff since there was already like 40 MENESs for some reason. Apparently it's a very popular like thing for some reason. So, handle. Yeah. Everything's going well, you know? And we're just trucking along, so... I guess that's all. I guess that's all there is, you know? So until next time, this has been Emily, you know? And never forget, magic comes from the heart, and I'll see you guys next year for Pride 2025. That's so weird to say, 2025. It's the future. Next year it'll seem like this is just a year, you know? Like, just like 2024, it seemed like the future. Now, oh, it's here. We're halfway through that already. Okay. Yeah, so, anyways, till next time.